Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to what I believe will be the final cottage kitchen update. So the cottage kitchen is about 90% done. We are so close, but it's not completed yet. And when it is fully done, I will do a full reveal with like before and afters and really kind of show you guys how we have really transformed this fixer-upper kitchen. The last update I shared with you guys was just a few days after we had moved in, and while it was semi-functional, we still didn't have a fridge or a dishwasher. We have come a long way, not only design-wise, but also just functionality. It is a fully functioning kitchen. I've been cooking up a storm in here. I've got everything I need, but there's just a little bit left as far as design goes. So I'm gonna share with you all of those updates in today's video, which is really fun. A lot of you guys have been really invested in kind of following along on this kitchen transformation, which makes me so happy because this is just like one of my, it is hands down my favorite space that I have ever designed and made ours. And I just love how it's turning out. And I know I'm going to love when it's completed even more. I'm so excited. Okay, so the first thing I wanna do is actually update you guys on our tile flooring. When I first shared this back before it was even installed, a lot of you guys said it was gonna be hard to clean, and I just want to give you a little update on that. The tile that we chose, I love it. It's like has a kind of stone look. I did a basket weave pattern on the floor, so it just looks, has a lot of interest to it, and it was so budget friendly. Like it was one of the like least expensive tiles I came across by far. It was very affordable, so I feel like it just kind of checked all the boxes. But then when you guys said it was gonna be hard to clean, I was like, ugh, there's the catch. But I have to say, it really has not been bad. I'm also not like a clean freak, I'll be honest. So it doesn't really bother me that much, but it really hasn't been a thing. I will say I did get, around Black Friday, I got one of those like viral vacuum mops. That has been a huge game changer because it's just to be able to run over the floors with that. Obviously it sucks up dirt, but it cleans them as well. That thing is amazing. I think it's worth every penny. And that has kind of been the savior instead of always wanting, because it does, like dirt really does stick to this tile. So instead of always having to like mop the floor, that would definitely be a pain to keep it clean. This has just made it super easy. It was well worth the investment. I can link that down below for you guys. I love that thing. The next update that I have for you guys is we have cabinet hardware. When we first moved in, we didn't have any cabinet hardware, and we didn't for like several weeks. But those are finally all installed and I love them. Not only are they very functional, but they look beautiful. I actually found, or a friend of mine shared this company with me. It's like a small family-owned business, which obviously love to support that. I will link them down below. I think it was called Hardwick and Sons, but they do all beautiful, like brass and other things, hardware. And I ended up just doing very simple, like 4-inch on centers, bin pulls for all of the drawers. And then we also just did very simple knobs for the cabinets. Nothing fancy, just something understated. And they're also unlacquered brass, so they've already kind of started to patina. They won't be perfect and fabulous and shiny forever. They're definitely going to show some wear and tear, but I love that. I feel like that fits this kitchen really well. And I just think they look beautiful. Okay, another thing that I'm so excited about, and we've had this installed for a little while now, but that is the beadboard. I'm so happy with it. I love it so much. I shared in the last cottage update that I decided to do a beadboard backsplash on top of the range, all the way up to the ceiling beams, and then all the way like curving around this wall where our sink is and all the cabinetry is. And I love it. I have no regrets. I was kind of going back and forth between doing tile and the beadboard, and I'm really glad I went with the beadboard for a few reasons. One, very budget friendly, much less expensive than tile. We used MDF sheets, so it was very affordable and it looks beautiful. Another reason I love the beadboard is it's something that was traditionally commonly used in old cottages, English cottages, as like wood paneling. It was a popular choice. So again, that kind of brings back in that cottage feel. It's understated, it's very simple, and I love it so much. So we did obviously paint it, and I went back and forth. The paint color choice was a tough one because I really was going for something very specific. I do want to bring color into this kitchen. The last time you guys saw it, it was just like very simple, like, you know, gray floors, white cabinets, white walls. It was kind of sterile in here, and that is not what I'm going for. I really want it to feel homey and kind of a little bit eclectic, very cozy and colorful. I really do want to bring colors in here, but not over the top. So I knew I wanted to do some kind of color on the beadboard, and I wanted it to basically be a color that you look at and you say, is that brown or is that pink? That was what I was going for, and I feel like I nailed it. I really loved the idea of like a pop of pink in here because it's unexpected, it's a little bit different, it's warm, but I didn't want a pink kitchen at the same time, you know? Like, this is not like a girly kitchen, this is for a family, and I wasn't gonna go all the way pink, but I wanted to have like an undertone of pink. So the color that we ended up choosing was Benjamin Moore Gallery Buff. That is the color, and I love it. I feel like I will love it even more once the beadboard is decorated. There is going to be, I'm gonna put a pot rail up here. I wanna maybe put like a painting over top of it because we don't have a range hood. We're not planning on doing a range hood. And then above the sink, it's kind of like a big blank canvas. And again, I'm gonna decorate all of that so it's not blank. And I think then it will feel even like warmer and even more exactly spot on for what I was going for. But that's the color Gallery Buff. What's interesting, I just wanted to mention, when you go to the store and you pick out paint samples, like this looks so different to me when I'm like looking at it than when I look at the wall. This looks like a green brown. The wall looks like a warm pink brown. So don't just trust these. Usually what I do is I go online and I kind of like search for the type of paint color I'm like looking for, like a beigey pink. Like, go on Pinterest and literally type in sage green. Like, what are you looking for? And then just look at a bunch of photos and try and tease out the ones that you really, really like, find out what those paint colors are. And then even if it's not a color that you can get, like maybe it's like a Farrow and Ball color. I love the Farrow and Ball paint colors. They're more expensive and they're harder to find because they're a UK-based company. If you live in the UK, then it's not hard. And they're more expensive. So, but what you can do is, it's called matchmypaintcolor.com. I use that thing all the time, and I will type in like the Farrow and Ball paint color, and then it will give me like all of the other paint companies, like their closest color match to it. And most of the time they're like identical, or they're very, very, very similar. So that's what I do. That's how I discovered this. I would have never picked this up in the store and been like, yes, this green brown is what I want for my wall. I would have gone right by this, but it's ended up being my perfect color. Okay, next, our table is finally an island table because we raised it up. If you guys recall in the last video, I bought these table extenders, wood table extenders, and they were 6 inches, which would bring this, what was once a desk height table. It was literally our desk for several years. It's an old farm table, and it raised it up perfectly to counter height, and I love it. I love it so much. One of the reasons I love it is it's a huge amount of workspace. We don't have a lot of counter space in this kitchen, but this gives me, this is like where I do 99% of food prep, cooking, sourdough, whatever it is, it's typically on this table, and it's just a ton of workspace. Another reason I love it is it's completely open underneath, so you can see right through it. If we had dropped a big solid island of cabinetry in the middle of this space, it would have immediately felt very tight. It would have felt like a small kitchen, which it kind of is. It's not very big. But we're able to like maximize workspace and counter space without it feeling tight in here. And I love it so much. I am eventually, I'm always on the lookout for like antique stools, because I would love to be able to slide a few stools under here so that we can actually use it to like sit at if we wanted. I'm sure my kids would love it. Right now they just drag the chairs over from the dining table, and so they can stand and help me and whatnot in the kitchen. I'm not on a like, I'm in no rush for the stools, because also like I don't really want my little tiny kids crawling on them. But someday I will have some cute little mismatched antique collected stools tucked under there. Okay, also with the table, we can't say painted because it's still very much in progress, but are in the process of painting the table legs. So if you recall, they were white before, they were like chipped and, you know, I don't know. Anyway, so I knew I was gonna paint them regardless so that they were finished, but I also didn't want them to be white. I wanted a color. So I wanted to do some kind of green. I wanted a pop of green. I love green in a kitchen. If you guys remember our last house, we painted all of the cabinets green and I loved them. So I knew I wanted to do a color similar to that. And that color, the cabinets in our old house, was Lichen by Farrow & Ball. So I wanted to do something similar. And the closest match when I looked it up was October Mist by Benjamin Moore. So that's what I got. It's a little bit lighter. It's not quite as deep and rich as that other color, but I knew I probably liked that. So I got that, and then I got a couple other colors similar to it, and I swatched them and then decided to actually go with the color called High Park by Benjamin Moore. It is just this kind of perfect, beautiful sage green. I only have one coat on half of the table right now. I feel like that is just, I mean, hopefully that's relatable to you, because anything DIY around here takes about 1,000,000 years, because I am 1,000,000 years pregnant and I've got 3 small kids, and it was just the holidays, and I started painting this before the holiday season, and then it was just like laughable that I would get back to it. So eventually we'll get there. Hopefully in the next few weeks we can finish painting the legs, this beautiful High Park green, but I just love the way that this table is coming together. I'm obsessed with it. I also wanted to mention as well this beautiful rug that we put underneath the table. I knew that I wanted a rug down there to break up all of this tile, number one, to have something that's a little bit warmer to stand on. It does get cold down here. We are in the middle of winter now, so it definitely gets cold down here. We do have a wood stove in, like, right across in the dining area, which is so fabulous and so cozy, and I've always dreamed of having a wood stove, and I'm so happy that we have one. And when that thing is cranking, it is warm down here, but we don't have it going all the time. At this point, it's more of like a special occasion thing, but practically, or practicality wise, we can really warm it up down here, but these floors do get cold. So I knew I wanted a rug there. So it was just like, you know, when you're standing prepping food at the island table, you're standing on a rug. But I wanted it to be like antique vibe. I wanted it to be low pile. That's really important, like super low pile, to the point where you can just vacuum it up almost like it's a regular hard floor. I didn't want like crumbs and stuff getting stuck in there. So I found this on Etsy. I'll link the shop down below that I found it. It's a one of a kind, so you can't buy this exact one, but there's a lot of great rugs on there, all different sizes, so beautiful and very affordable prices. Okay, next update. Well, actually it's not an update. It's like one of the things we actually still have to do, but I finally have the light fixture in, so I tried to raise you guys up a little bit so you can see there's just this one single light bulb hanging here. It's been hanging there. One, I guess, update we did do is we swapped it out for an Edison bulb, which is so much better. It just had like a standard, super bright, harsh light bulb in there, and it was terrible. So we, at the minimum, swapped it out for the Edison bulb, which is what I'm gonna end up using in the actual light fixture, but it just made it so much softer and not like a overhead office lighting in here. So, but anyway, so we have a light fixture. It's finally in. I don't know if it's going to work. I'm hopeful that it's going to work. We measured it, I worked with my contractor, it all was gonna work out fine, and then just the way that the electrical box was installed, lower than we thought it was gonna be, it's a whole thing. This light fixture has been a journey. I ordered it in the beginning of October. I didn't get it until basically December. Finally have it. Contractor will be back this week, which is very exciting, and he's planning on installing it. So we'll see. I'm gonna cross my fingers that it will work, but it's just a beautiful, like, 3 light, kind of technically a chandelier, but it's just 3 lights in a row. It's unlacquered brass, and I think it's gonna look really good. Once I can actually get the light fixture in here, I think it's just gonna make such a difference. It's gonna look way less empty up here, but then I'll be able to put the pot rail in back here along the range wall. I didn't want to do that until I knew where the light was going to hang and hit. because when you're looking at it, you know, like sight lines, you don't want them to be like kind of on top of each other. So that's been really slowing up the process. So hopefully this week we're getting a light put in there, and it's beautiful, and I hope it works. So that's the next update. So that is kind of where we're at with the kitchen. We're at the stage of like now just needing to decorate. So once that light is in and I can get the pot rail up, I can get some art on these walls. And this is a big blank space around the window, and it even goes like up, like, you know, to the ceiling up there. So my plan is to put, I actually already bought it. I got it off Etsy, just like a handmade, or I guess custom made wood shelf that I plan to put all along up over the sink. That will just be decorated. It's not going to be like a really usable shelf. It's just more going to be to add decor and to add interest and bring some warmth up there. And then I plan to just hang some collected like oil paintings or something down the sides. It's kind of awkward because this is like wider over here, this is skinnier over here. So I'm just gonna have to kind of play around and find a way to decorate those without it being too obvious that they're completely different sizes. But then the only other like major thing kitchen wise that needs to be done is to move this big honking fridge out of here. So the last update I did with you guys, I didn't even have a fridge yet. We literally had a cooler outside the door. That was fun, don't recommend it. Was super thrilled to have an actual refrigerator when it finally came in. But so this is a temporary location. So back here is the back wall. We have our hutch on one side. You can see the table goes this way. And then in there, that is the next room that we are going to be renovating, actually starting in a few weeks. I'm so excited. But the fridge is going to move back into that room. So I'll give you guys a little sneak peek of that room. Brings me so much stress. It's like that room is like a horror movie for me for a couple different reasons. One, it literally looks like the backdrop of a horror movie. It's got these weird semi-painted butter yellow stone walls and just weird old shelving, and it's just dirty. And it's also on top of that incredibly unorganized because we're like half unpacked in there because there's just not enough space to unpack, and then also it's all gonna get packed back up when we demo it, and it's just a mess in there. But the fridge is eventually going to move in there. And if you guys want, so that's gonna be a laundry room slash like butler's pantry. And I'm really excited. The design is already in progress. Everything is ordered. My contractor will be here in a few weeks to start working on it. If you guys want me to do like another little series with that room, just like I did with the kitchen, let me know and kind of bring you along step by step. But the fridge is going to move back into there. So it's not going to be in this space. I feel like in here it actually does, like on camera it doesn't look crazy, but like when you walk back into that door, the fridge is just like sticking out of the wall. Like it is just, it's awkward. It's a small kitchen, so I just don't really want it there long term. I also have a great spot for it in there where it perfectly fits, where there's some HVAC above it where I couldn't even put upper cabinetry anyway. So it just kind of makes sense to tuck it in there. And I'm excited for that. So once that is finally moved out, that room is done, then I can my plan is to put like a cozy armchair there and like some art up on the wall over top of it. I've always dreamed of having, really ideally would be like 2 cozy chairs in a kitchen where you can like sit down and have coffee and have a conversation with someone. I don't have the space for that, but I'm at least gonna have 1 cozy chair. I'm gonna find something thrifted or antique or something to put there, and I'm very excited about that. But there you have it, guys. That is my latest cottage kitchen update. The next time you see a kitchen video, or at least, you know, a video, not me in my kitchen cooking, but actually a video dedicated to the kitchen, it will be complete, which is just going to make my heart so happy because I have had a vision for this space since the moment I stepped into this house that needed a lot of work when we first saw it, and it still needs a lot of work, but I am just loving this whole process. Has been such a joy. I love sharing with you guys. I hope you have just been really enjoying following along. But next time you see it, it will be complete, and it will be my little dream cottage kitchen that I'm just so excited about. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you want to, like I said earlier, see kind of a step-by-step process of the butler's pantry slash laundry room as well, I would love to do that. That is going to be a major transformation that I cannot wait to see. because one, it's gonna be amazing, just the before and after, but also like I live here and I hate that room and I'm excited for it to be functional but also pretty. So let me know in the comments if you want to see another series on that room. But that is all I have. If you guys have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to join my little community here on YouTube. I share some house content, but a lot of food and healthy eating, a little bit of nutrition. I am a dietitian, also just lifestyle and bringing you guys into my home and just sharing with you like little bits and pieces of our life here. So I hope that you will subscribe and join us. But that is all I have for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.